time I will tell you about The Wicked Part 2 The Other One, which was released in 2022, where this film continues the previous film where we will follow the life of a girl who is called the Girl, an innocent girl who is dangerous and she has amnesia and forgets memory. He doesn't know his name, where he lives, when he was born, who are his parents, what is his shoe size, what is his WhatsApp number. Anyway, he forgot everything. Even so, he is the result of the most successful experiment, with the most powerful power, and of course very very dangerous, after waiting for so long, and successfully making many viewers curious about the continuation of the story. This film will definitely be very exciting. And this is The Wicked Part 2 The Other One. The story opens with a scene in the past when the bus took school children who were going on a study tour. The students were so excited they couldn't wait to see the tour and take photos together. On the streets they sing until they are tired and fall asleep. Without the students realizing it, the driver secretly changes the bus's destination not to travel, but instead to a research laboratory. These children are trapped to be used as experimental material. Change to one of the schoolchildren who woke up in a room, in a state of confusion. He was accompanied by a woman named Dr. Beck. Dr. Beck was the leader of the laboratory. To Dr. Beck, this high school boy admitted that he was already in touch with his girlfriend. Too late, and now she is pregnant. Dr. Beck tells her that from the stomach of this schoolgirl, 2 children will be born later, and she will take care of her children later. Who exactly is this girl? What is her relationship with Dr. Beck? We will see the answer in the story. The scene switches to the present, showing a woman named Tuo. Tuo is also a witch, who used to be an experimental subject in one of Dr. Beck's laboratories. Tuo is leading his troops, on a mission to attack a laboratory named Artman, which is also a place for genetic engineering experiments, which carried out on the children of Dr. Beck.
Unbeknownst to him, a girl who was a research subject survived the attack, with injuries all over her body. The child walked out of the laboratory and left. Strange memories appeared in her head to make her nose bleed. The story continues in Dr. Beck's luxurious house. He has now retired from the laboratory. A man who looks like Lee Min-ho named Jong visits him. Jong tells Dr. Beck about the attack incident in Artman's laboratory, which was carried out by Tuo. He also informs that one of the subject managed to survive, and also ran away. The scene turned back to the girl who managed to escape from the laboratory. Let's call her a rose walking aimlessly. From birth she was in the laboratory, and never went out. She really unsociable, must be easy to be fooled and also kidnapped. And sure enough, not long after a car pulled over and also kidnapped him. In the car, Rose, confused, saw several men and a girl. This girl named Kyung-hae. She also seemed to be kidnapped and about to be killed. Kyung-hae told these men to let go of the Rose, because this child had nothing to do with their business. Kyung-hae, who talked a lot, was then beaten by the man there. A man asked about the blood on his body, while holding him, and suddenly Kyung-hae was also frightened by what Mawar had done, who didn't hesitate to kill other people. He tried to leave, but because he couldn't bear to leave her alone, he turned around and asked her to come with him. Kyung-hae took an injured Rose to a veterinary clinic for treatment. The incompetent vet tried to treat Rose's wounds, but to his surprise the wounds on Rose's body healed in seconds. Kyung-hae then brought Rose to live in his house. Kyung-hae also lives with his younger brother named Daekil. When dinner arrives, they are so confused by the way and portion of eating roses. The scene changes at Dr. Beck's residence. It is seen that he is ordering his subordinate, Major Chae-yoon, to kill and capture Rose.
반주의자들이 그렇게 만들고 싶어 하던 내 생각보다 강했어.
이 아이는 다르다는 거네요.
반드시 제거돼야 돼.
In another place, Kyung-hae's house is visited by a man named Yongdu and his men. He has been eyeing the land belonging to the Kyung-hae family for a long time. But Kyung-hae always refuses to sell it. This time he will force it with violence. Everyone is shocked when they suddenly see Mawar stood on the roof. Yongdu ordered her to get down, so scared when she saw Mawar jump straight like she had 7 lives. Mawar saw Kyunghae in dirty condition who was injured and lying on the ground, and with one touch, Youngdo almost died if Kyunghae didn't ask the rose to stop. The scene changes. Youngdo receives information that Mawar is a wanted person. He immediately intends to negotiate with those who are looking for him, because he knows where the location of Mawar is. The scene then continues when Kyunghae, who is about to enter his car, is suddenly met by Major Cheyenne, who already knew the information that the rose was with him. Cheyenne showed CCTV evidence that the rose was not an ordinary human. He asked Kyunghae to stay away from the rose, and let him kill him. Elsewhere, young Du had just arrived at his office, when he met the party looking for the rose. He actually hoped to exchange information with the whereabouts of Mawar, with some money. The party he was going to negotiate with turned out to be Tuo's group. Without much ado, Tuo slaughtered Youngdu's men. He didn't negotiate. He threatened Youngdu for information on the whereabouts of Mawar. The scene continued with showing roses on the roof and joking Dirty suggesting that roses should take part in a singing competition. Then roses show their magical abilities that make Dirty amazed and amazed. Kyunghae then arrived home with Chaeyoon's troops. He saw how scary the roses were recorded on the CCTV. He decided to part ways with the roses. Following Chaeyoon's advice, Jaehyun's troops carried out several strategies to catch or kill the roses. In the house, Kyunghae saw the closeness of his sister Dirty and Roses, which made him feel unable to give roses to Chaeyoon. Tuo's group with young Du also arrived at Kyunghae's house, to make arrests for Roses. Kyunghae, who had made up his mind to protect Roses, left the house and tried to chase away young Du and the people what he brought too. Youngdu, who also received threats from Tuo, was in a hurry to catch the rose. Kyunghae, who kept trying to hide the rose, annoyed Youngdu. Saw the rose who was alone. The attack was immediately carried out. Realizing that the one who was chasing Mawar was not the only one for them, Tuo and his group immediately tried to attack Chaeyoon's troops. The shot did not hit Mawar. She disappeared. The battle between Chaeyoon's group and Tuo began. Youngdo, who had been threatening Daegul earlier, annoyed Chaeyoon. That was the opening of the final fight. The massacre was quickly carried out from the Tuo group to the young Du group's men. The battle between the Tuo group and Chaeyoon was inevitable. Chaeyoon fell to the ground then.
고만 속썩이고 좀 뒤져 제발.
In the forest, Mawar recalled her short memories with Kyunghae and Dirty, and suddenly came that from Tuo.
너구나.
After successfully winning the battle with Chaeyoon's group, now is the time for Tuo to face the rose, which casually drags the body of his dead friend.
날이라 없지.
Unexpectedly, Ko Chaeyoon appeared, who he had been looking for all this time.
내 동생이야?
둘이 원래 아는 사이였어.
Finally, the mystery throughout this film is answered, about who is the high school student at the beginning of the scene, who is pregnant out of wedlock. It turns out she is the mother of Ko Chaeyoon and Mawar. From the ending of this film, it shows us all that the film will continue in part 3, with Kaehyun's personal mission to finding his biological mother, in order to cure the disease that is in him, using the help of the power of roses, and the film is finished.